And hello, welcome back to Adobe Live. Happy Monday, Maddy.
Happy
We
Monday!
made it.
We did. We
Woohoo!
made it through. It's so good. It's spring for you, Emma. I know Emma joined the call today,
It is.
our pre-call, and said it's spring. And I thought, I don't know if the UK got the memo. I don't know if it's spring here.
Exactly. I know. And I was so excited. I think I just kind of rubbed it in your face a little bit. I was like, happy spring. And Maddie's looking outside like, which world do you live in?
We do have daffodils. Like I've seen daffs and I've seen a few other kind of little, I don't know what to call them really. They're not snowdrops, but there's some lovely little flowers blooming. But I don't know, is it spring in the UK? Let us know in the chat.
Yeah, I was having a look at the chat as well, and everyone seems to be pretty swamped with work this morning, and that's the feeling and vibe I'm getting from this Monday Adobe Live. And I'm just really happy to have made it with you, Maddy, on this live stream. Last week was chaotic, and we had Tim kindly jumping in.
I know we did, and it was fun. I mean, I think I got a bit overexcited, Emma. I use Spark a lot. I mean, I do. And so I'm like, here's how we use it in my front room in the pictures. Here's how we use it in the kids' bedroom. Here's how honestly, I use it a lot. And so I'm probably a bit calm today. I'm going to sip of my coffee.
And you know what? I actually have no idea what you've got planned, but we were both saying we're seeing Spark again. And that didn't, put off anyone last week. We're getting more of it. We're just kind of dialing down the excitement, I guess.
Yeah, and there's so much, right? I mean, I think it's good to have a stream on Adobe Spark, and it's a great place to get started. And actually, even if you're a pro and you know how to use so many of our apps, I think Spark's a really good way to share your work actually and communicate in a different way. So I've got some bits to show you. And we missed Spark Video last week, because we spent so much time covering Spark Post and then Spark Page. And so today we're going to do a little recap on Post and Page, and then go into video and just look at some ways that you can bring that into your, into your workflow. So. Yeah.
I love that. Exciting. Maddy, you're just like our Spark guru, like across all the hosts. I think everyone has their own little like world. Like you live on Illustrator, and I think Tony's a pretty Illustrator guru as well. And then you've got Spark, and we were, excited to see this again. I just want to take some time to say hi to everyone in the chat before we get started. And of course, if you're watching on YouTube, we're here on Behance. So if you want to join the chat and say hi, ask questions for Maddy, we're here for the next hour. We've got obviously Oliver who's here, Jackie, all the regulars. It's so nice to see you guys. Sandrine as well, and Kirsty. Gareth, you already cracked a couple of jokes in the chat and got you going, Maddy.
I was laughing in the pre-call. What was the hashtag?
Before we even started. And Andreas and everyone else, if you're new, come and say hi. We'd love to see you and welcome you on this Adobe Live. All right. Anything else, Maddy, before we start, or we're ready to get cracking?
I hope that I don't make any eyes bleed today. Not too much colour. Everyone knows from previous game shows or fresco streams, do love a bit of colour in the pages. So I don't think there's too much today to go, to do it. But it's so good to see that everyone's using Spark, and I think that's so good. As I said, there's so many use cases. And so, let's go back to a little bit about where we started last week, and we'll just revisit the three kind of elements of Adobe Spark. And I think the best place to go back to is Post, just to start us off. And so again, I'm on my iPad. Actually, if I just click out of here, when you are using this in a web browser, it's spark.adobe.com, and everything's within one page, and you can filter through your posts, your pages, and your videos. But in the iPad, you've got three separate apps. So you download Adobe Spark Page, Adobe Spark Post, and Adobe Spark Video. And so if I go back to Spark Post here, just to recap for everybody, there's so many templates that you can remix across all three sections. So you can see people's ideas. It's so easy to remix posts that have already been made for your work. So it's easy peasy to do that. And I think I shared, here we go, I clicked into, my posts, and we made that creative workshop I think last time, and maybe the Save the Date audition masterclass as well. So we've made those. But here's a few examples. As I said, my kids are heavily into Adobe Spark. They've got posters on their bedroom walls with times tables that they've made themselves. So it's a good way to get them learning. Good for activities if you're homeschooling right now. I think I mentioned that last week as well. But the good thing about Adobe Spark is that the posts and the pages and the videos all talk to each other. So I'll show you a workflow today about how I use this for work, and show you how you can bring in posts and things that you've done to kind of reinforce your message and your communications to people. But yeah, so this is where we started. So posts are social media, sharing things quickly, save the dates is how I use it. And again, keeping the kids entertained through lockdown. And the next Spark page. So again, as I mentioned, remix templates that already exist. There's some great templates here. I use this for invitations to enablement and training events coming up. If you're doing tutorials, or if you've got a business that you want to talk more about and you want to give more detail about, then Page is perfect for that. And I shared some of the pages that I've created here. And one cool thing actually that's really got us going is, everyone's doing mood boards. Do you have a mood board, Emma?
I don't, but I'm a huge fan of Pinterest, and that's kind of my way to mood board and piece things together. But I know a lot of people who do that kind of to start the year, right? Like they in January kind of mood board their goals and how they want to keep motivated across the year. And it's always something I've been wanting to do, like kind of scrapbooking as well, and like printing things. I'm a very kind of physical, hands-on, person as well.
I used to love a scrapbook. Well, for Spark, I use Adobe Spark for all of those things. I did Pinterest as well, but I wanted to be able to print this out, but also save it as an image on my phone, so that as I scroll through my phone, my mood board is what I see behind my apps. So I'm always looking at it subconsciously almost. And so you can do that really well in Adobe Spark. But the reason why I say mood boards is that I want to plan a holiday. I want to plan a big trip to New Zealand
lockdown,
lockdown, when we're allowed to travel. And I want to go with my sister and Hello and the kids. So I'm putting it all in Adobe Spark page. I'm adding videos, but let's go here, let's go there, sending it. And you can collaborate. So you can both contribute to the page as you go. And it's like this big board of ideas. I love it. So,
Maddy, make us dream with New Zealand photos. I love this. I'm pretty excited for that.
No, it's true. And the best bit though, Emma, is that if I actually click into this one, you can see this gorgeous beach in New Zealand. But we've got so many options in Adobe Spark to change images, because you've got free images. So find free images. And all of those images they're like Creative Commons images. So they've come from the old Pixabay and Flickr and places like that. And you can search for anything in here. And I think I searched in here. Here we go, New Zealand. Here we go. And it just inspires you even more. Look at the waterfalls. I can change any of these images up. Beautiful. See, so it's just a different way to use this type of page. I think it's great. It doesn't always have to be presenting your work. It could be ideas and collaboration and so many use cases, right? So this was the page, and that was just one of the ways that I was using it here. And then today, of course, we're going into Spark Video. And Spark Video, if I click on inspiration here, really the main reason why you would use Spark Video is you are pulling together a movie of photos or content that you've already taken, that you've already got, and you want to showcase in a small video. And that video can have titles, and it has lots of lovely different themes, so you can choose different layouts, and it comes with lovely music as well. So I'll go through all of those different sections today. But really, this isn't going to be like Premiere Rush, where you can open the app and actually record from the app. What you need here is your content already recorded and already done. So imagine like you're coming back from a holiday, or you're compiling all of your holiday photos from last year in a quick movie, because no one has time to sit through, when you sit with your parents and they've been away and they're like, and here's where we went to the cafe.
Oh dear.
And here's where we went to the beach, and you're like, oh my gosh.
Politely.
How much longer am I going to sit through this? So you compile all of your videos, like iMovie, compile all your videos in a 3-minute montage and have them all ready to go, right? So you've got that.
And I think Sandrine's also nailed it in the chat. She says, I would say Spark is great to quickly design, format, and share. And so it's not so much about producing, but more presenting, right? We're looking at as like a use. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, it's exactly that. And what's really great is that, as I said, all of the Spark content talks to each other. And so one of the great things that you can do is you can add this video that you've made in Spark Video to a Spark page. And I do this for training reminders and recaps, because it's so easy to run an event and then email people afterwards and say, hey, thank you for coming. Here's a link to the recording. Here are some useful assets for you to download. But what I do now is I record myself on my iPad saying, hey, everyone, thanks for recording, thanks for coming. And then I guide them through, like I'll record I'll do like a screen share, like a screen record, and I'll just show them exactly where to get the assets. Because what happens, Emma, is that people email me and say, can you send me the link to the asset? I'm like, no, go in and get it, because they'll see more, right? I want them to go to the website, and I want them to search for it themselves, because they need to learn how to access it. So I'll record that step, and then when they see me in that video, they're more likely to say, okay, what's Maddy going to say now? What she need us to say, rather than a link to something which people probably don't click on. So so it's a good way to to get it started. So inspiration, you can see here in the video that again you've got lots of different options here, and if I click, here we go. You've got lots of different examples of how people are showcasing videos. Let's click on thrills because it's the most colourful one. I love a bit of a bit of colour. And here we go. So this is playing here. And this is an example.
So nice. It's so much better when content is dynamic, right?
It is. It's so much more engaging rather than an email invite, so that, it's so good to see stuff like that. And that's exactly how you can use this. Take pictures of your work. And if you're hosting a stream and you want to drive people to it, this is ideal for that. Have pictures of you live in the stream, have some cool, colors, and the music, as I said, it gives you so many different examples. I'll share some of my favorites in there. But, that's just one example of an event. And then if you go down here, you see something completely different. So this is a travel option. So this is something that is really good if you want to, have some options. I love that.
That's so nice.
I love that.
And Maddy, we already have, a bit of a discussion in the chat about just platforms and using Spark on mobile or desktop. And mostly between Sandrine and Sean, who are kind of discussing their favorite ways to access Spark and use it on the go. So do you have any tips on that or any experience from your end?
I'd say it's where your it's where your content's saved. Like if it's saved locally on your phone, and do it, make it quickly on the go on your phone. If it's saved to a library, you can access your Creative Cloud libraries from Adobe Spark everywhere. So that's ideal, right? If you've got that option. But if it's a point and shoot, like let's say you're out and about and you've had a great day out and you want to share it with your family or a fun experience, then you'll have all of those on your iPhone. Just record it there and there, just make it there and then. It's the best bit of being able to make content wherever you are, doing whatever you're doing on the go. It's good. And I love seeing use cases like that because it just shows you that lots of us are doing volunteer work and things like that at the moment. We're doing a bit of litter picking with the kids and we're going around, and I'd really love to just make a summary video of this and give it to my friends in my kids' school, for like their eco committee, for example, of ways that we can help the community, like stuff like that. But I can really imagine like projects and time-lapse pro of flowers blooming in spring right now, like, you know, like stuff like that you could add to these. So lots of lovely use cases.
I can see that cheer, Maddy, in spring right now, where you are. So distant, but
rub it in. No, I think everyone in the chat wrote that there were some lovely flowers and bits, you know, blooming and that kind of thing. But do you know what, Emma? I think
the flower conversation.
Oh no, totally. Do you know what though? I would say the ultimate experience, right? And I think that a lot of our, you know, our community can relate to this. How many of you have got a ticket to Adobe Max and it's been funded by an employer or something, and you've gone to, you know, Adobe Max when it was big and it was there in LA, and then you've come back and your employer has said, what was, you know, to give us a summary. Tell us, what was Adobe Max like? You know, what did you learn? What was it, you know, what was the experience? And often or not, you have to show your experience in things. And this is ideal, you know, that I think everyone probably took a movie walking around that big pavilion, you know, of all of the different events, and then attending the different labs and photos by the walls that you could draw and write on. And so it's a really good way to showcase an experience that you've had, you know. So totally.
It's kind of immersive as well, like a little sneak peek into a world. Yeah, there's a little bit of storytelling in that, which I really like as well. So there's a feedback on telling that story that you experienced. So I think that's definitely a good example of how to use Spark. And I think the biggest learning about this is that it is so accessible. And I don't know if your kids are using it themselves and kind of just playing around, but it just feels like anyone can just have a play around and enjoy it.
Totally. I mean, if I click my videos, it's mostly made up of my daughters, who for some reason have a little American accents at the moment, playing with Barbies and things. But my daughters use Spark a lot. And I show you here, we've got Halloween videos. So you can see a mixture, it's so funny. You can see a mixture of my work and professional use, and then their Barbie videos. But Phoebe had to do a video. She had to do a book review. And so she had to talk about her favorite book, show pictures of like the pages in the book and why she liked a particular chapter. And so she's captured that in the book review here. But I won't make you sit through all of these. As proud of mum as I am.
Now you're being the parent who's like, so this is the time Phoebe did that. And I'm like, okay.
And then she did this. And then I won't do that to you, I promise. But you know, but she's done schoolwork here. So you can see here that there's a story of the king. And Phoebe's also done treasure hunts in this as well. So we've put clues. So you have to watch a little video at different stages, and it kind of makes it kind of a nice experience. And I'm going to be using Adobe Spark. It's my daughter's 8th birthday coming up, and it's a second lockdown birthday. So I've been trying to think of ways to make it nice for her. So we're actually going to do a treasure hunt in Adobe Spark with video clues and get her friends to record videos giving her the clues. And then I can add it into the video so that she can see her friends and helping with
crazy.
It's going to be fun. But yeah, so you can see here.
Seriously, next level in the Maddy household. This is just...
once you've raised the bar with all this technology though, you've got to keep it going.
How do you top that?
Totally. But you can see here, right, so you can see like videos that they've made, which is the majority of theirs. However, the way that I use this is a training recap, and as I said, I make a video pointing people towards the assets, and so today if I click in here, so I'm going to add new, so you can click plus at the very bottom, and we can create a new video on a house renovation. It's always good to tell the story and show the story about how you know, a lot of us are doing decorating right now, renovations, building work. I know that some of our community are doing their gardens up at the moment, you know, in spring, getting ready for summer. And so document all of that in a video, because it's so lovely to look back on and see everything. So you can either start with your photos or start from a template that already exists. And I've got to say, I'm one of these people that I love remixing a post template, but when it comes to videos, I like to start from scratch. So I'll show you both, but we're going to start with scratch now. So it will say here, start with my photos, and it will bring up like my albums. So of course you're going to see, you know, all of these different albums.
Real personal again.
Oh my God.
Deep diving into Maddy's world.
All out there. That's the It's all out there. So it will show you, your photos, and it will show you, examples of all of the images that you've got. And for here, I think what I'm going to do is show you just how I would begin to build this story of showing a house renovation. So if I click into house, what you'll see here is loads of building work and loads of things like this that we started off with. And so here you just simply start going through and just selecting some of the images about, the start and where you moved in, where you started. So I'm just going to click, here we go. I just click a couple of images here, and I'm going to go into, how we've kind of, made this room. I'm going to click add 4 images for now. Here we go. And it's going to add them in there. Your video is ready. Amazing. And then I can watch that back. I can literally just go from here and start saying, okay, what does this look like? And normally I'd advise you to do that with Rush, compile all your content, sit back, look at it first before you start making edits. As that's definitely a really easy thing to do. So you can go to editor. So just click here. And what this will do is it will allow you, you can see all of the content in a row. It always adds the credits and then the outro, which is always like the Spark logo. And if you're premium, you can actually remove the Spark logo and replace it with your own logo. So that's just a benefit of it being premium. But to add more content here, I can click the plus, which is bottom right. And it adds a slide. So in this case, the theme that I'm using is blue, but we're going to come to the theme in a moment. And I'm going to drag this. Here we go. So press and hold. I'm going to reorder that by just dragging that first. So it's really easy just to move, bits around where you want to edit. And if I click plus, I'm going to add some text here, and it just comes up straight away. So I'm going to call this, what should I call this? House Reno. There we go. Very American, isn't it? House Reno 2020. All right. And I click done. Here we go. And then this is the way that my video will start. So you'll see the titles like this. Now, if I wanted to, I could add this text actually over the images that I've already got there if I chose to do it that way. And I can actually add the same text here. So it kind of goes into it. So I'll type in here again. House Reno 2020. Done. So you can see that there across both. So if I played that, I could either start with the blue slide on its own and then go into the pictures, or so you can play around with it, which is quite nice. And then just simply add more content as you go. So you just click plus and plus on the slide, and then you can choose if you want photos here or if you want photos from your gallery, if you've got them saved in any other places. As I said earlier, you can do this on the go wherever you are. So if they're on the device that you're using, pull them from there. If they're in your Creative Cloud, pull them from there. So you've got all of that. I think what I might want to do though for House Reno is make it look a bit more glamorous than like a really old.
Ooh, I like the sound of that.
I moved into a really old house that hadn't been decorated since the 70s. So it really needed a lot of work. So if I click find free photos, let's type in, what should we search for? Like renovation, maybe house renovation? Oh,
try it out.
Sorry.
Just checking the chat.
Here
we have some big fans of Elvis.
What's
in
it going to give me?
As always.
Yes, Sir Barks-a-Lot.
Spotted.
As I now call him. Yes, Sir Barks-a-Lot, who does not stop barking. Honestly, I can't find it. Let's put building work. Oh no, construction. There you go. That would work, wouldn't it? Construction. That might give me a picture of a digger and something
getting
like that.
Those keywords. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, there's cranes. I mean, my house isn't big enough for cranes, but we'll go with it. We'll. Oh, here we go. I like this. Obviously, that's my house in the background. Nope. All right, so here you go. So house reno. All right, this like this. Yes, my house is that big. And then as we go into it, you've got here, you've got the option to split some of these. Here we go. I think it came out with the layout. Here we go. And so if I find that I've got so many pictures and I don't want to just play, one picture after the other, then, add some split screen stuff in here, change it up a bit. So I could click on this picture. I could say, let's see what this looks like, split screen. And I can add another picture of another Reno. So I can, probably go back to my pictures here because it wouldn't look right with a picture of a crane or something in the background. Here we go. And it was home, house. Here we go. And so I go here. Let's find an image. Got all these freshly plastered walls, before and after. Who doesn't love a before and after? You know?
Yes.
I love
So
it.
satisfying.
It is though, isn't it? When you see how far you've come and you're like, oh, that's so good. But
also, I'm so impressed, Maddy. Look at this. Like, this is incredible. Like, I had no idea you worked your house.
Oh no, honestly,
like
2 years.
amazing.
And it's not even finished yet. There's so much more to do, honestly. Anyone that follows me on Instagram will see this journey. But yeah, so it's all go. But this is going to be a great video to look back on, because I often see these before and afters of images, but it's been like a long project. And so it's nice to have like in a little video, you know, that I can go back to. So, so you can add content. And then I think what's really great is that you can add some voiceover just to talk about the story a little bit. So if I go back, let's find an image, just fill this other image here at the moment. Here we go. Let's add this image. Now this, see this hole here, Emma?
Yep.
That's where a builder fell through my ceiling. Yes.
And you were like, I'll buy that house. This is a bargain.
That's where he fell through. He's fine, by the way. Literally fell through the ceiling. Fell through.
Oh my goodness.
It's we had water coming in. I mean, oh my gosh. So and that's the type of thing that I don't want to forget. And sometimes you can't tell that in images. That's why it's so good to have in a video, and you can tell the story whilst it's current, whilst it's in your mind, and you can, you know, add to this, right? So if I go back here, to record your voice, you press and hold the microphone, and so you just press and hold and just talk as you go, right? So, and Jackie asked, did he fix it for free? No, I think we were more worried that he would probably sue us or something. So no, we covered that. We moved straight on.
Priorities. Is the man alive?
He's fine. Let's get tough love. He's fine and move on. So so here I'm going to just press and record. Here's what I would begin. So say, here we go. So this video is all about the house renovation we started at the beginning of 2020, in which we completely redid our entire house and built above our garage. There you go. All right, so then I press play and you'll be able to hear that back. Could you hear that? Probably didn't come out very well. Did you hear that? For me, it's blurry.
I can hear it.
You can't hear it. To me, it actually sounds like construction, which is, it sounds like there's a lot of...
It sounds like someone's drilling. Listen, we'll keep it.
We will keep it. Couldn't be more perfect.
Like white noise.
Amazing. So now we've got some images, right? And we've added, I'm probably going to have to add text here just to say, when, here we go, the builder fell through. There you go. I almost need some kind of like funny emoji or something to to add to this. Cool. So once you've done that and you've got some content, I mean, as you see, it's so easy. You're just dragging images, moving them to where you want them by simply pressing and holding. And I always say with Spark, whether you're in Spark Post, Spark Page, or Spark Video, if you don't know what it does, you know, prod it. And if it doesn't do anything, double tap it, and then it will do something. You can add.
Try again. You never know.
Yeah, exactly.
I love that.
Yeah, it's so easy. So you've got your video, so you've got some images, you've got a bit of story told here. I mean, obviously the story's not complete. As you can see, there are many more photos. So this is going to be a longer project, and I'll share this when it's done online so that everyone can see. And I'll add some more voiceover as well. But the next thing I want to do is just look at the theme. And I do tend to use Elevate or Focus as my main themes. If I'm doing professional like enablement, Noir is quite good. And so you can see, here we go. You can see just the text changes. Here's Elevate. My daughter uses Flare, which is the brightest option. Everything turns pink with a pink haze, which you can change.
And it's changed everything down at the timeline as well. So everything's updated with that theme, right?
Yeah, so you can completely see it all. You can completely see it. And you've got statement now, just clicking through a few different options. But pick the different options that you have for whatever project. You can, if it's about travel, then you might want to use title at the beginning. If it's more like a menu, if you're showing, products and things, then Grace is quite nice. Just really simple and clean. So, you've always got the options of the theme. One of the updates that we received to Spark, I think it was last year, it was around Adobe Max time, was the option to resize all of the content once you've got it in there. And I think that this is good because sometimes if you are in the moment, you forget that if you're making a video, everything's better in landscape, and that you're holding your iPhone up doing it in portrait mode, because it's just like a natural thing just
all the time.
Point
Always.
and shoot. Yeah, and then when you come to edit it after, you're like, oh no, I didn't capture it in the right way. So it's so easy actually just to turn everything square. And so yes, it would chop, and so you have to go through your images and just slightly move your content over just slightly to make sure that things are in frame that you want to be in frame. But this is ideal because, as I said, you're using content that you've taken on your phone or on your iPad, wherever you are. So it's really easy just to resize it. And this is perfect for Instagram if you have the square option. And then music. There's so many songs. Sunlit Valley.
What do you mean, Maddy? You don't record yourself singing? You don't record your own music to go along?
I have been known to do. I have, but we're not going to do way too much Maddy for this today. No. So you can choose songs from your files. You can choose songs. I've got iTunes and things here, but the songs they're lovely. And you've got some. I know some people have been learning ukulele whilst we've been in lockdown. And so here, can you hear this now?
Yes. Is it Tim playing or is it Spark? Who knows?
I know.
We have a fan of ukulele.
Tim is known to join a call playing the ukulele that we all know. Do you know the ones I like though? Hold on, Uplifting. So Sunlit Valley is always the one. I love Sweet Arrival. So listen to this one.
Ooh, that sounds really nice.
It's kind of like a,
very peaceful and mellow.
It is. It kind of, takes all of the. I don't think that's right for this project though, for the construction.
You need something with energy and like a beat. Yeah.
Yes. And there's no flugelhorn. That's a Sandrine. No flugelhorn. There's some of these builds, right? So some of them are quite good. Here we go. The thematic ones are quite French, actually. They sound French. And let me go Wandering Guitar.
Ooh, that's funky.
I don't know when I'd use that though. It sounds a bit cheesy, doesn't it? It does sound a bit, But But these videos.
Yeah, I don't have a context for it.
No, nor do I. I can't quite imagine where that would be used. I've used a lot of these different ones. Bringing Change is probably the most popular. You've probably heard this one a lot. Have you heard these? I've heard this a lot, this one.
Really?
It's on. I've seen it on. I swear I've heard it on adverts on the TV. And I think somebody was asking around licensing to these tracks. And again, these are all, Creative Commons licensed. So you can easily look up on Google, how to use Creative Commons licensed tracks. It's not the same on YouTube where you need to provide, like a license key like you would do with audio assets from Adobe stock. It's not like that. So just have a look at the uses for Creative Commons licensed tracks and you'll be fine. But yeah, so there's lots of these. I don't think maybe building tall might be good for this. Very good, isn't it? This is like architecture. Seeing a plan build.
Very satisfying.
Yes.
What's that show called again on TV that's like renovating and building new houses again? I feel like that's the music that kind of
use. Oh, totally. Like great.
Is that the one?
But yes, I know exactly what you're thinking.
There was one show that I loved where they're like traveling as well and they're like building houses and like the middle of Australia or like some random spots, and
Yeah.
always have this kind of like really energetic music. I like it.
I love it. Grand designs. You can hear that type of
Grand
music in grand
designs, yes,
designs.
yes, that's
It's
the
like
one.
that, yeah. Oh yes, Sandrine says DIY SOS. Yes, although that program's more heartfelt. I think they would probably go with more of the loving, kind of thoughtful stroll in Central Park, maybe something like that. But yeah, you can pick this. And actually, this is funny. My kids were playing Roblox the other day. I don't know if any other of there are parents in the chat that their kids are doing the same. But I've noticed that I've heard these songs in the background of these games, so they're being used in other things. Because I was thinking, where have I heard that song? Where have I heard that? I know that song, Adobe Spark. So yeah, they're around, they're out there. So yeah, so as you can see,
I saw one that was Woodland Jam, which sounds really nice.
Woodland Jam. Let's pop it on. Where is it? Woodland Jam. Here you
Sounds
go.
like my kind of music.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I like that.
Very sweet. Yeah.
I'm gonna stick with that one, Emma. I think that's good. I like that. I
Oh,
like that
nice.
a lot. Yeah, so let's stick with it. So as you can see here, in this video, we've captured images that were taken on my mobile phone of just, the house reno. I took some landscape and some I forgot to take landscape because I was just holding up my phone, trying to capture something in the moment. So I've resized this square so that all of my, video will look the same. You don't have any of those awkward gaps either side or anything like that. And that's the perfect size for Instagram so I can share my story. I've added voiceover talking about what this video is and what happened at different points. And I'm going to certainly add more to this when I develop this into a longer video. And now it's the easy point. And this is one thing I shared last week, Emma, about why Spark is so good, because you can share it directly to your social media. It's that quick. So yeah, I could go straight to Facebook, Twitter, save it to my camera roll, which is what I automatically do naturally. I like to know it's there. But then one of the good things is I can copy the link to the clipboard. And I would want to do that if I want to bring this video into a Spark page where I'm giving even more detail, right? So, even more. And so, yeah, so we can do that. So let's copy the link to the clipboard and it will say, here we go. It looks great. It'll just take a bit of time. Now, a good use case for this is that if you are either hosting an event or you are showcasing some work, actually, and that you want to just talk a little bit about your work, and you don't want to get too technical, but you just want to take some images of your shots or some bits that you've got on your phone, make a little Spark video and add it to a Spark page. Because in the Spark page, you can have your your kind of glide show that we showed you last week. So it kind of looks really immersive. You've got this focal point in the imagery that pulls you in. And then there can be a video at the end of you just talking about your work even more, adding voiceover, saying, I created this and I was inspired by this to create this. And I spent this long on this project and I did this. Because I think that's the way to get, I think it's more than a portfolio. You can actually give a narration, like a good narrative to this. So would you do that? I think we need to.
And there's still some chat as well with music and a couple of mentions of Adobe Stock music and audio as a resource. And Adobe Stock came up as well in terms of photography. So you could also pull some assets from there for your project.
Let's do it. So if we go in, I just added here we go, I added a couple of slides. So I've got this here, I'm going to click plus. If I go photo, just scroll right back here, look at your options. Here's where you pull the this content from. So yeah, wherever you've got these images, you can go straight into Adobe Stock. It'll probably ask me to sign in. But as I said, you've got so many free photos. If you're working on a project across a team and you're using the same stock images, then obviously if you're signed in, you can see ticks next to the images that you and your team have licensed, so you're always using the right images. So that's always good. If I go in here now, hopefully, it's going to ask me to sign in, I think. Oh no. Here we go. So here are some Adobe Stock images. You can see the images that I've already licensed here. Here we go. So you can see some images there. Here we go. So many more images though in Adobe Stock under construction. Garrett's, but Adobe Spark. I did say Adobe Spark. Yes. But yeah, so many more images in Adobe Stock though, completely. And again, you could find there's so many soundtracks in there now. You've got lots of different audio options. Really great soundtracks in Adobe Stock to even enhance this.
There's a rabbit hole just right there. You could like spend all day on it. Fishing for content. And Maddy, how much time do you usually spend on these projects? Just putting it together and sharing it? Do you have a
5 minutes? I mean, seriously, it's not long. I mean, I'm really serious.
Really?
It's not long. Yeah, because for me, the harder bit is getting the content to share. Because once you're in, you literally just go into your gallery and you go back, like literally all of the images that you want, see them in the timeline, redo them. And if you've got videos that you're adding that have audio in them, you can actually edit the sound level, bring up the, turn up the music a bit more.
Nice.
So it's so quick. I mean, it really is so quick. And often than not, like there are times where we love to work in advance, right? And have at least 2 weeks before any enablement activity goes out. But there are times where needs of the business, something will launch really quickly and they'll say, hey, Maddy, we need to organize training for tomorrow, get everyone there. And so I'll send the email, I'll send the invites, but I'll also create a really quick save the date in Adobe Spark and push that to their Discord or their WhatsApp so that they can see a visual of the event. So that and as I said, 2 minutes. It does not take long at all.
That's amazing.
And what I could do is that if I really wanted to draw attention to this video that I'll put on Instagram, is I could make an accompanying Spark post. So let's go back to the Spark post page. Let's do a new one of these. Let's click plus. Let's do, here we go, search free photos. And I can actually, here we go, construction. Here we are. Ooh, very strange. Here we go. Let's do this one again. Add one. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull people or entice them with my content here. I'll just click to add one. Here we go. So it's for Instagram. So you can see at the bottom, this is an Instagram post. Let's click done. I'm going to double tap to see my new story on my house. I hate calling it Reno. I don't, oh, there you go. Let's just type it full. Here we go. And obviously I'm going to have to edit that because you can't write, blue text on that image just like that. If I just tap on the image, let's just adjust this. And here we go. Let's colorize it slightly so that my text really pops. There we go. I think I need to change the color again. Here we go. But you can see here, I can add, here we go. Ooh. I can add, this to kind of bring people in to watch my video. So when they see a new post from me, they can say, oh, okay, let's actually go in and actually have a look at a little bit more. I think I'm going to have to.
And then on Instagram, you can use it as a cover. So that's great. You can also pick which one will kind of come up first. And that's super easy to,
exactly
include in your post.
Exactly that. Exactly. So here we go. I'm just looking now I just want to pop my, here we go, text. If I click style, just go around the wheel. Hey. Oh, there you go. Let's stop that there. And let's kind of just lower left. Let's move. Here we go. Move the image just slightly over. There you go. So this is going to bring people in to the video that I've made. And then the link to my video could go, I think we spoke about this last week. Emma, you are so good on social media, so you will know this. When everyone says, the link's in my bio, check it out.
Yeah.
What? Where's the link? What bio? What's
they would I just picture you, Maddy, being like, what is going on? Like every time you come across one. I don't think I've ever done that though. I haven't.
No, I haven't. And I'm so confused when they do. They're like, read more, link in my bio. And I'm like, I don't know what your bio is. But now I know. So when you have your name and your description or whatever, text that you put under that's your bio. And often you always see people have a link.
So you can keep on updating it.
Yeah,
exactly.
So keep updating your stories and add them in there, you know. So this is where you add those, you know. And I think, oh, by the way, Gareth's laughing. He's shocked. I've used black and white and no color. I know, Gareth. I know. It was hard for me to do. But yeah. So yeah. But there you go. So this is what I'm saying. So you make your video. You've got the link. Add it to your bio. In Instagram with your story, and use this for showcasing, either telling a story, communicating to people, you know, images or an experience or you know, that kind of thing.
Look at you, Maddy, such a pro, such an influencer now.
I've never called myself that ever. Not at all. No. But yeah, so it's there's so many use cases for it, but I think the best thing about Spark is that it's on the go, you know, and it's so quick and easy. And as I said, your kids can use it. You can see how I use it anyway. And so yeah. So any questions or anything? Like, is there anything more you want me to show?
Yeah, guys. As usual, we always have the banter in the chat, and people are having a lot of fun with all this content. But I really want to hear about those use cases as well, and how everyone's been using it. So in what context? And you know, in my personal kind of work, I've used it at Adobe for creating kind of vloggy type posts, where we'd wrap up kind of a project and have to feedback to the team and say, hey, look, we created this, and they would have a couple of photos. And I think you can make something look really sleek. So for specific projects or campaigns, you can have a really good summary within that. So for example, numbers and then kind of images. And I think the experience of it is really nice to share internally. It looks a little bit nicer than doing, you know, a presentation or a deck that you would have on like PowerPoint or something. So yeah, that's usually how and it's a little bit more interactive as well, which I really like. So that's been my way of using it. But yeah.
I use it for slides a lot. I think I mentioned this, you know, in the chat that we did last week, because when you start anything new and you pick, let's say I was to go in here again, search free photos, and I was to do, let's just type in data, right? Here we go. Now, the best way to do data, if we're going to go there, like the best way.
Give me your secrets, Maddy.
Oh my God, honestly, MoGut files. Gareth will let this in the chat. MoGut files. So you can, if you search in Adobe Stock under motion graphic templates for data, there's so many things that you can do where you get a graph to grow on the screen. And so in the side, when you edit that MoGut file, you can click edit, and then you can, we should do a stream on this, but you can input your data. So you can say, 80% of people watch this stream, or they stayed on for this long, or you know, that kind of thing. And then when you're showing a presentation, you're adding these as videos to your slides, so that as you're scrolling through, your content's moving and you know, in the background. That's the best way to do it.
That's awesome. And you can make something really bland very exciting, because usually that's something that people are like, oh, data, I don't want to look at it. You know, it's already off-putting. I don't know what to look at. Yeah. And I think storytelling is super important to data, right? Because you're giving a little bit more context to whether that's positive, negative, you know, a progress or not. So I think that's a really, really good shout.
Yeah, no, that's really good. So that's my favorite way, but I'm trying to show you here. If I did a graph, sometimes I like to have an image and have this almost, you know, like a darker filter as an image behind my text on screen, so that it's just something good, you know, in the background, just to keep people engaged rather than just a plain slide with a graph on it. But you can do that in Adobe Spark. So if I show you now, I mean, I can't find a graph that I want here right now. Let's try, actually, just something like this.
In the meantime, I'm looking at the chat as well, and we have Sandrine who said she's using it mainly for stories and to make quick slideshows. It's been easier than to do it in Photoshop, but also things like making a banner for Behance, which I think is a really good idea. Thanks, Sandrine, for sharing.
That is such a good idea. I need a better banner on Behance. I might have a go. I need to do that, because I just did a sketch and it was fast. I don't know. But let me click add one. Here you go. Look. So here are all of the formats, right? So before, because it's easy to share, I automatically, my go-to is Instagram. But here you can do landscape, Facebook, and there's actually, here we go. If you keep scrolling, keep scrolling. Here we go. Landscape.
And I really like that Spark isn't so intimidating. A lot of people are using XD, for example, for this kind of work, but it's pretty scary if you're not, if you're new to it. And I think Spark is a great way to start and have that kind of just very simple approach to design.
Yeah, and it's such an easy way to market yourself as well, though. If you're too worried about layouts and InDesign and portfolios and that kind of thing, if you just want to tell the story, just get a Spark page, start putting in the information, getting your images and things in there. Oh, totally. So let's say, for example, I go here. Let's do, how long have we got? We've got 10 minutes. We could do cool. Yeah. Let's go back. Actually, no, we're going to stick with this. Let's do Behance header. Let's do it. And I'm looking at the best size here, and I'm thinking we go with almost like a Twitter header, really, isn't it? What do you think? Oh no, banner. Let's just do banner.
Yeah, banner. Yeah, try that one out.
Let's try out banner. All right, so we've got that there. And I'm not going to add text, actually. I'm going to change the image. Let's just click done. Happy days. And let's go back, search for photos. And I want something colorful. I love, when you're in Adobe Spark, I love searching under the word creative, because it brings up, I just love, it's a really good word in there to search. You get loads of bright colors, loads of different artwork.
And Stuart is giving you the countdown. Maddy's going for it. 8 minutes. Go. I love that you're doing this live.
Let's do this. So I love the paints there, though. That's a lovely one. But I would like something that's kind of colorful, obviously. But look at that stained glass window. See, this is lovely. But then the paints, see, wow, what a header. Like, what a great image.
Wowza.
Image.
Bold. I like it.
Yes. No, I like that. And actually, I don't think I want any text there. I'm like, no text. We don't want this. Let me just delete this a second. I'm sure I can actually remove the, but that's a lovely one. That's just an image, right? But obviously I'd love it to be an image that I've done. So therefore I'd go through some of the work that I've done in Fresco, saved it as a JPEG, and then bring that in. So I can get some of those drawings and bits added. But here we go. And I think what's kind of nice, actually, I've seen some really good banners on Behance where people have got images and then they've got like a little bit of text, like in the bottom right, with just a little bit of information about them and that kind of thing. So I quite like that. So if we go here. Here we go. I could kind of get some text in here. It's getting very colourful now. Here we go.
Don't worry, the chat's on it.
Yeah, they really.
Yeah.
Love it. The brighter the better, I say. I mean, all right, so let's add text. And I'm just going to say Maddy. And do you know, I love it when people put I saw a slide recently that somebody had shared, and they had a random fact about themselves in the bottom right-hand corner of the text. So it was like a conversation starter when they were doing a presentation.
That. Icebreaker.
It was, but it was random though. Like this guy was like, "I like spaghetti," or "I'm good at changing batteries." Or, it was like random. It was a little,
it reminds me of a story of out of office emails where sometimes people go really personal on those as well and are like, I'm out on holiday doing this and probably at the beach having a margarita. And you're like, okay. But I love getting those emails a bit more personal, and this is the same, right? You just feel like, hey, I'll remember that because there's a fun fact. So
that's so true. I had in my out of office recently, I had a week off a few weeks back, and I put it said location, and I put Las Kitchenas. Because I'd be spending it in my kitchen. That's literally it. So I thought, make it sound like a holiday destination.
I love that. So you're one of those, Maddy. I should get your out of offices. Just email you randomly when you're out.
Totally should. But yeah, so you've got this option. Here we go. And I'm just tapping everything now. But this is it really, right? It's so quick. You just go in, select the size template that you need, and then add it up. Use your own artwork if you've got it. But if not, use the find free photos option, because that's, so many images under, available there, or Adobe Stock. And you've got links to your Creative Cloud libraries, so you can easily go in and do that. But yeah, I think that's it. I think I'm not going to go further than that at the moment, because I think I'm going to have a think, and then you'll see later.
Open a whole new.
Yeah, I know. My lunch break sorted.
But Maddy, let's talk a bit about. I love that. Let's talk a bit about the week as well, because we started with Spark today, but we also have plenty of other streams coming up this week. So I want to give a bit of love to the masterclass that we're having on Wednesday, and also obviously Friday with Natalie. So let us know. Oh, there you go. We've got the schedule. Thanks, Tim, for that, because we have a really exciting session on Wednesday, and I don't know, there was a sneak peek before I joined this stream that you saw, Maddy. So I don't know what we're in for, but I'm really excited for that 90 minutes. Yeah.
I was gutted that I missed last Wednesdays. I missed it. And it's always a laugh with Tony and Tim together. Those two, just mischief. But
it's going to be brilliant.
It's going to be brilliant. So I'm definitely going to be tuning in for that one on Wednesday. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, and as usual, always there with Tony and hosting. And we also have lovely Natalie on Friday, who's going to be kicking off a bit of a regular session with Off Academy, and the first guest being Cal. And I think we'll have a great chat around mentorship and kind of studio life between those two. So come along, as always, 12 UK time, and everything's, you just mentioned something, Maddy, as well, as everything's on replay, so if you missed it, come and see it on Behance, and all the sessions are still available afterwards. So that's that. Was there anything else, Maddy? Thanks for today. It was great to see your world.
Oh, it's all good. It's always good to share anything, any questions that come up, let me know. And just get using Spark. Tell your stories, share your stories. It's easy and fun at the same time. So I hope it's been useful.
And we've got Gareth excited about After Effects, so with a question mark. So Catherine as well, who joined a little bit late. So thanks, guys. And Pierre, who just also said thumbs up, and some big thank yous from the chat. So loads of love, Maddy, for today. Thank you so much. We'll see you all on Wednesday.
All right. Bye, everyone.
Bye, guys.